Hello there everybody and welcome to the next gaming interview. This time I'm interviewing someone named Wolf Desk.
Hey Patrick, thanks for taking the time to interview me. It means a lot to me. I know I'm a ridiculously small channel compared to all the other people that you've interviewed, but thanks for taking time to interview me, man. I really appreciate it.
When did you get into gaming?
When did I get into gaming? Ever since I can remember, really. If I was shooting the ballpark, probably like 5 or 6.
What fan base in the gaming community would you say is the worst and most toxic?
You know, that really just depends on really just what your viewpoint is. I know a lot of people who think people who cuss is toxic, but it just depends on how hard you look and what you think is toxic. In my opinion, every game pretty much has their faults, their gray spots, their black spots in their community, and hell, even popular games like Street Fighter V, StarCraft 2, and even World of Warcraft have a lot of things in their community. Even Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty, Halo. Every game has some toxicity in their community if you look hard enough, especially nowadays with the internet being accessed by nearly everybody. So yeah.
What is your favorite console?
Favorite console? Oh god. I have nearly played on every single console known to man, with the exception of the Dreamcast. Yeah, pretty much the Dreamcast, now that I think about it, yeah. The Dreamcast, mainline-wise. Yeah, I think the Dreamcast is the only one I haven't played, but if I had to choose my most favorite console, it would probably have to be the PlayStation 2. Just singly because that it was the first console I ever purchased with my own hard-earned money, not my parents' money, not my grandmother's money. I got a job, my first ever job. I was a busboy at a Mexican restaurant, and I purchased my own PlayStation 2 with Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 for the PS2 and Devil May Cry 3. So yeah, on my 16th birthday actually, because I had a work permit for 15, but here in the U.S. But yeah, PS2 always, just simply because of that.
What game are you most hyped for?
All right, what game am I most hyped for? Honestly, it's gonna be the most recent game I finished was Days Gone. That is an excellent zombie game. I will say that it is so much better than The Last of Us. Riding your motorcycle in a zombie apocalypse, that is hands down so much better than The Last of Us. And I'm gonna get so much hate for that, but I will stand to that. And if it's not that, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Yeah, or a Marvel vs. Capcom game that includes the X-Men and Fantastic Four. I don't even give a shit. I don't care really if it has not par graphics to other fighting games like Dragon Ball FighterZ compared to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. For that example, those two just never. It was no denying that FighterZ was gonna be ahead of Marvel's MVCI.
What is one game you would make if you could?
So I actually said this on stream a while back, but my wife thought it was fucking ridiculous. But basically, Monster Hunter World, but Pirate Edition. I am not fucking lying. It popped in my head one day, and I stuck to it because it was so badass. It was so awesome. It was really awesome. Basically, if you ever play a Monster Hunter game, you know in Monster Hunter World especially, you go out to a certain part of the world, and you drop down there, and you go out on your hunt or your boss battle or whatever. You go find the monster and kill it. Pretty simple, but it's awesome. So my mind, instead of just clicking on your touchpad in Monster Hunter World, for example, and flying to the destination. You get on your ship, you prep your ship, you like you would for a normal hunt. And I don't want this to be a main mechanic of the game, of a Monster Hunter game. I just want this to be like a side activity. Kind of like how in the Assassin's Creed game, sailing your boat is an optional thing. Same thing here. Just for aquatic monsters like Kraken or anything like that, or Cthulhu, for that matter. Anyways, you just sail your boat out there and you use the ship's guns to kill the monster. And then, you know, you have fight sequences where you can use your melee weapons with the monster attacks the ship and it's like right up close to it. I think that would be a great idea. It is said right here, right now, that if Capcom releases that game, I said it first. At least I said it on my own stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
What gaming company would you choose to make your ideal game?
Of course, Capcom. They own the IP. I don't want it to be just a generic or off-brand thing. I wanted to say Monster Hunter SeaWorld or something like that. Just something like that, yeah.
What is your favorite location in a video game? Like, for example, a town or a dungeon?
My favorite location in any video game, hands down, is on top of Mount Silver and Pokemon Gold / Silver. The end of the game where your original Pokemon team is faced with Red from the previous Pokemon game. That, hands down, not only in my little childhood brain, was the most beautiful mountain I've ever been in. This is the most beautiful mountain I've ever been in. It is hands down the most epic battle I've ever witnessed. Facing essentially your previous self in a badass way. I definitely agree. Definitely agree that it is wonderful. There you go.
In your opinion, what are 3 of the worst games ever made?
Where do I start? Where do I start? I had it written down there, actually. Number 1, Halo 5. Halo 5. 343 has done some good games. I will not deny that. They have done some good games. They have Halo Reach, Halo 4. They have Halo 4 was definitely good. Coming off the Halo Reach bandwagon, me waiting years for Halo 4, seeing it in E3, it really was good. Now, at the end of Halo 4, it wasn't really that great, but new company, I understood, but still was great. Halo 5, it was an absolute fucking mess. Absolute mess. I hate it. I had to force myself to play it. It was fun. That game was not fun. I do not like it. They just didn't understand the story well. They would force people to read the novels and the comics, which is not bad. It's not bad. But if you're going to force me to read something to figure out where Master Chief found all these other Spartans at, give me a free ebook of it. Give me an ebook when I purchase the game. Give me like a quick comic that sums up how all this happened. Just how. How did Blue Team show up? Who is Locke? Give me some background to Locke. They just essentially threw this assassin into Halo, going after Master Chief, and in the final battle was a joke. You can definitely tell that they spent their money on advertising instead of on the game. Because you see in advertising, you see all these like made suits, all these CGI stuff. Halo Wars 2 had better stuff in it than Halo 5. Halo 5, not a good game. Not a good game. If I have to force myself to finish a game, that is bad. That is bad. That's like forcing somebody to read French and they only know English. and use a freaking translator book the whole entire time. That's how frustrating it was to me to play Halo 5. Would I ever play it again? No. It's permanently erased from my mind, just like MBCI is. Which, speaking of, MBCI is the next on my list. By all means, it has awesome game mechanics. Definitely a step up from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, in my opinion. They nailed it, trying to reach out to new people, new players who haven't played Marvel vs. Capcom before. By all means. It's very difficult to get into fighting games and not know how to play because of the previous titles. It is very hard. If you start a new fighting game, it's very hard. It's very hard to learn. Like, I am not a Street Fighter player. I am not a Street Fighter 5 player. I am not. I suck at Street Fighter 5. It is very difficult for me to learn Street Fighter 5. But I still enjoy it. There is still some satisfaction in pulling off a Hadouken or a Shoryuken. It's very awesome playing as Ryu, as the bearded Ryu, which I had to pay money for, but that's besides the point. But the graphics on this current generation, there is no excuse. Now, if MVCI came on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, perfectly fine, different scenario. But this is Xbox One, PS4. There's no exception. And on the PC, there is a mod to sharpen it up, and it looks completely better. Capcom was just lazy, and they didn't really care. And the fact that they disrespected their fan base, because people were asking why wasn't X-Men, why wasn't Fantastic Four in the roster? They were all in the previous games. People love X-Men. People love Fantastic Four. Well, some people like Fantastic Four, but most people, they enjoy X-Men. So why can I not play as Magneto, but I can play as Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel and Nova when Nova was in the previous game? So why? And then they say, oh well, Magneto was a function. He was very famous for his diagonal dash, the way he can dash in any direction. And they say, oh, Nova, Captain Marvel, and other people can do it. So they're just functions, and people only play them for this specific move. That is not true. That is not true. That's like me saying that I enjoy Goku in Dragon Ball FighterZ because of his Kamehameha. And if they took Goku out, then I'm okay with playing as Gohan, Cell, and other people who have a Goku Black, a single beam, a single Kamehameha burst, or a Final Flash, or anything. So they just took out Goku and just left everybody else, like all the Gokus, except Goku Black, because that's different. Then people would be in uproar. How could you put in, guys, how could you leave out Goku in a Dragon Ball game? There's no point. Same thing here. Magneto is an awesome character. X-Men are Doctor Doom is an awesome character. I love Doctor Doom. He is so cool. And they took him out. Now, they took him out because I know licensing with Disney taking over everything. It's fine. Yeah, we don't need to go into that. But give us say that. Don't lie to your fan base. Because if you lie to your fan base, you're not going to make any profits. If you lie to your fan base, you devalue yourself, and you become Blizzard. Look how they're doing. Blizzard Action Division? Nope. But yeah, that's, and Destiny 2. Yeah. There's no explaining that. There's a reason it went from 60 to free to play. Just saying.
Who is your favorite video game music composer?
Throughout all my life, it has been Martin O'Donnell. O'Donnell, he composed the Halo games. He's most famously known for composing the Halo theme, the Halo music. Hands down, probably the best. But here lately, I cannot sit down and listen to Halo music compared to Mick Gordon. He wrote that the Doom music for Bethesda. Holy smoke. That is awesome. That got me into that type of music, and it won't get me out of that. Every time I play Doom, I crank the music up to max and disturb my neighbors and get a noise complaint. That is how much I love Doom music. So yeah. But yeah. Other than that, yeah, those are my answers to the interview. Thank you again, Patrick. Thank you very much again. I really have enjoyed this, and if you ever want to interview me again sometime in the future, just let me know. And yeah, thank you again, man. Thanks.
Oh my god, this was the worst interview I've done so far. What is wrong with this guy? Going on and on and on about I'm sorry, Wolf. I was just kidding. No, I really enjoyed this interview, and I really did. Don't get me wrong, I really had fun with this one. I'm just ending this right here. Okay, thanks for allowing me to interview you. I had fun with this one. Bye-bye.